This is Call of Duty for the PC, the very game that started one of the biggest franchises in the video game industry and was exclusive on the PC. This game here came out on either 2 CDs or a single DVD. I have the version here that's on 2 CDs, so let's check it out. Game starts off with training, which in most games is kind of boring. But in this game, it really helps because there's a lot of new sort of things you had to get used to in this game. You know, there wasn't very many games that had the look down the gun and it zooms in. I mean, GoldenEye was, I think, one of the first games that did that. But, you know, there's still a lot of PC gamers and people playing first-person shooters that weren't used to these kind of things where, you know, you have to crouch or crawl or, you know, melee a weapon. It sounds silly, but that was kind of new stuff at the time. And, you know, even stuff from Rainbow Six, the idea that, you know, when you're moving, your crosshairs are less accurate. Starting off, I mean, I just have to talk about how amazing this game was when it came out. How excited I was about this game when it came out. You know, this game is 7 years old now. And that's almost hard to believe. But, you know, I'll remember this game, you know, when it came out for a few reasons. Obviously, for what an amazing game it was at the time. You know, I can't remember any game prior to this first-person shooter that had as much action. And there was always just stuff going on because it was not only you, but, you know, all the other guys in your infantry, you know, all shooting at the enemies. And I don't know, I think this is one of the first games to have so many computer AI players playing along with you in a shooting game like this, and it really ramped up the action. The other reason I remember this game so well is just the timing, and when this game came out was exactly when I got a new computer. I went from a Pentium 3 600 with a GeForce 2 MX, and that was my computer for a while. And then right around the same time this game came out, I built a new PC. It was the first PC I built from the ground up, and it was an Athlon XP 2400 with an ATI Radeon 9600 Pro video card. And that was just a huge upgrade for me. It was a huge step up. And this game just so happened to come out around the same time, and it was perfect because this game at the time was like the ultimate in PC graphics. And, you know, it really pushed my new hardware and just, it was like, wow, yeah, this is why I upgraded. You know, so I could play a game like this on the highest settings. And it was just such an amazing game. I mean, my friends would come over who didn't quite have gaming PCs yet, and they would come over just to play this game. And it was also kind of around that time that gaming PCs were starting to become popular again, because you had so many amazing games. You had, you know, Quake 3, Call of Duty, you know, and then it led into like Doom 3 and Half-Life and Far Cry, and, you know, there was so many good games coming out on the PC that were not even, you know, anything close to what you got on the consoles. You know, the PlayStation 2 was, you know, really wouldn't have been able to handle this game very well. And this, like I said, was a PC exclusive when it came out. And, you know, my friends eventually got into gaming PCs probably because of this game. You know, after they played this game at my house, it's pretty much when they started to want to build their own gaming PC. So, I mean, it's just timing, and this game, you know, when it came out, was just like such a leap forward. It was so amazing. That I'll never forget that. You know, this game was also really cool at the time because of its realism, you know. The storyline of actually being a soldier going through the Second World War, realistic locations, all the realistic weapons, you know, all the realistic World War II era weapons. It wasn't as common in an action-packed shooter back then. You know, you saw graphics improve with games like Quake 2, Quake 3, and we saw, you know, Unreal Tournament, even Half-Life. But they were all either like futuristic or fantasy. And then this with the next level of graphics, but bringing you the realism. And like I said, that may have been in a lot more simulation kind of games and strategy games, but it wasn't really in the action games. They mixed the action and the history of World War II like no other game I don't think had ever done at the time. I think this game actually probably got a lot of younger kids interested in World War II history, to say the least. In this game you can carry your pistol, and you can carry 2 secondary weapons, or 2 rifles. So you can carry a submachine gun and a rifle, or you can carry, like a rifle and a sniper rifle. So you can actually carry 3 weapons in total, including the handgun. So that's actually been changed in the later ones, where you can only carry a handgun and then 1 big gun. So that's kind of cool. And of course, like the other ones, you can drop weapons and replace them with any weapon you find on the ground, be it one of your fellow infantrymen's or an enemy's weapon. So that was another cool thing about this game. There was weapons everywhere because there was dead bodies everywhere. If you've played the later Call of Duty games, there's one thing that you'll notice they've changed, and that is the way that you get health. In this one, you actually have to find health packs. You don't just regain health by sitting around. So, you have to do a little bit of exploration. Sometimes, if you're in a house and, the action seems to be upstairs, well, don't go upstairs. Go explore the bathroom downstairs, and you'll probably find some health packs. They're just sort of scattered randomly throughout the game, usually in houses or, inside buildings that are kind of maybe off the main path. So I like that. I like that you have to kind of explore around and find the health packs. And there's a little bit more exploration in this game because of that. There's less sort of linearness. There's less what I call quick time events, like in Black Ops. With little arcade sequences where you're on a bike and then you're on a turret, which just seems to push you to the next thing. This one, there's a lot more shooting action where you're, fully in control of where you can go. It seems a lot more, it seems a lot more action-packed to me after playing Black Ops and going to this.
Martin, over here. Get in the car.
But speaking of quick time events, I guess we sort of have one here, don't we?
What the hell are you doing, Sarge?
I don't know. Sure hope it works.
Hit it! Go, go, go!
So I guess this is the kind of thing that I mean by a quick time event or like an arcade sequence. You're not in control of the car right now. You're basically just along for the ride, and it's kind of like a rail shooter, like those old arcade rail shooters. You just gotta, move the cursor around on the screen and shoot the enemies, while you're sort of just along for the ride. And there's nothing wrong with that. It helps the storyline, and it's fun for a change, but, you don't want too many of them, I don't think.
Shut up, Elder, and get your ass out! Let's go, Martin! Move it, move! I can't believe I agreed to do this!
You didn't, remember? You were calling.
And once again, here I am with almost no health, so, what am I going to do? I don't want to proceed and fight more enemies. I want to find a health pack, damn it. And I like that in this game. I like that you have to search around for health packs. rather than just regenerating your health. And it kind of makes more sense too. And inside this house here, I mean, the graphics are once again really surprising me. For a 7-year-old game, you have to admit, it looks pretty good still. The game came out, like I said, developed by Infinity Ward, and it actually uses a modified version of the Quake 3 engine, which I found interesting. There was a lot of games at the time using the Quake 3 engine. A lot of games using the Quake 2 engine too, and a lot of them weren't first-person shooters. There's just so many games using like modified versions of that engine, and well, it must have been a damn good engine, because this is a damn good-looking game. And you know, like I said, it was sort of the golden era of the PC gaming. I think really up until about the mid-2000s. The PC really was dominant when it came to gaming, high-end gaming. I mean, you look at anything from Half-Life, Quake 3, you know, Call of Duty, Doom 3, Far Cry, Unreal Tournament, Half-Life 2, Max Payne. Max Payne was on the consoles as well, but Max Payne and Max Payne 2 you know, were best on the PC. And Max Payne was developed for the PC, came out for the PC first, before any of the console ports. And pretty much all the way up to, you know, Call of Duty 2, which came out on the PC first, but then got ported to the Xbox 360. And then the Xbox 360, I mean, that's when the consoles started to take off again. I mean, the PCs had such an advantage over the previous generation of consoles that we saw high-end games like Far Cry and Doom 3 that really, even Half-Life 2, just would not have been possible on the PlayStation 2, for example. And for high-end gaming, a lot of people were looking at the PC, but then, you know, like I said, Call of Duty 2, when it got ported to the Xbox 360, we started to see things change. And there's no bigger proof of that than this game and Call of Duty 3. When you think that the Call of Duty franchise started on the PC, Call of Duty 1 was only on the PC, Call of Duty 2 was probably best on the PC, and it came out on the PC first, and then Call of Duty 3 came out on the 360, and the PlayStation 3 eventually, and yet never came out on the PC at all. So that pretty much sums it up. I mean, the consoles became more popular, and you know, the gaming PCs in the mid-2000s sort of started to die off. Even more so today, unfortunately. You know, it's just the way it is. But this is I still can't believe that 7 years this game's aged so well. It's so much fun to play. I have to admit, I've had more fun playing this than I had playing Black Ops. And I know I'm not alone on this one. A lot of people don't like Black Ops, and a lot of people still play this game. So there you go. This is definitely a great game. If you somehow missed this one, it's very understandable. Since it was only on the PC, you can now check it out on Xbox 360 Live Arcade and the PlayStation Network on the PlayStation 3. So you can now check this game out if you missed it, and if you're a fan of shooters, this is definitely one to check out.